You know what most gardeners get completely wrong about October? They think the growing season's over. But here's the truth nobody's talking about. October is actually when you should be putting specific shrubs in the ground. Not just any shrubs, though. I'm talking about 7 particular ones that will give your garden bones, structure, and honestly, make your neighbors wonder what your secret is come February when everything else looks dead. Stick around because number 4 on this list literally glows in winter. And I'm not even exaggerating. Hey there, garden friends. Welcome back to Earthly Gardening, where we prove you don't need a trust fund to have a garden that looks like it belongs in a magazine. If you're new here, I'm so glad you found us because today we're diving into something that's going to completely change how you think about fall planting. And to my returning viewers, thank you for being here. You know, we keep it real, we keep it budget-friendly, and we definitely keep it interesting. Before we jump in, do me a quick favor. If you find even one shrub on today's list that makes you think, okay, I need that in my garden, go ahead and hit that like button. It helps more people discover these tips, and honestly, it tells me you're vibing with the content. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are we even doing here? Hit subscribe so you don't miss out on the garden glow-ups we've got coming your way. Alright, let's get into these 7 shrubs that you need to get in the ground this October. Trust me, your future self in January is going to thank you. Shrub 1. Let's kick things off with something that sounds fancy but is actually bulletproof. Physocarpus, or as normal people call it, Ninebark. Now, I know what you're thinking. That name sounds like something from a fantasy novel. But hear me out. Ninebark is that friend who shows up to every season dressed perfectly. In October, when you plant this beauty, you're getting rich burgundy or golden foliage depending on the variety you choose. Come winter, the bark literally peels in layers, creating this gorgeous cinnamon tone texture that catches snow and frost like nature's own artwork. Here's why October planting is genius for this one. The soil is still warm enough for roots to establish, but the air is cool enough that the plant isn't stressed trying to push out new growth. You're basically giving it a head start while it's in rest mode. Cost-wise, we're talking $15 to $30 for a decent-sized plant. And it grows fast, which means you're not waiting 5 years to see results. Plant it in full sun to partial shade, give it average soil, and honestly, just walk away. This thing thrives on neglect. It's drought-tolerant once established, deer don't want it. And it'll give you structure all winter long with those architectural branches. The variety Diablo has these deep purple leaves that almost look black, and Darts Gold gives you that sunny chartreuse pop. Both keep their branch interest through the coldest months. Shrub 2. Number 2 is going to surprise you because most people only think about this one for spring. I'm talking about Forsythia, but we're flipping the script on how you use it. Everyone knows Forsythia for those crazy yellow blooms in early spring, right? But what people sleep on is the structure this shrub provides in winter. Those arching branches create movement in your garden when everything else is static and boring. And here's the kicker. When you plant in October, you're essentially programming this shrub for an explosive spring show. October planting means the roots get 2 seasons to settle in before they have to support all those blooms. You're looking at a fuller, more established plant come spring, with way more flower power than if you'd waited until March or April. Now, here's the budget-friendly part that'll make you smile. Forsythia propagates like it's getting paid to do it. If you know literally anyone with a Forsythia, ask for a cutting in October. Stick it in the ground. That's it. Free plant. You can also find them at nurseries for around $20. And they grow so fast you'll think you're in a time-lapse video. Plant it where you need a living fence or a backdrop. It's not picky about soil, handles urban pollution like a champ, and once established, you basically have to try to kill it. The winter silhouette alone is worth it, with those upright arching stems that catch light beautifully. Okay, we're 2 shrubs in and I'm curious. Are you team purple foliage or team yellow blooms? Drop a comment below and let me know which one you're leaning toward. And if you're enjoying this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We've got 5 more shrubs to cover, and number 4 is legitimately going to blow your mind. Shrub 3. Number 3 is Ilex verticillata, which is just a complicated way of saying Winterberry Holly. And this is where October planting becomes absolutely critical. Picture this, it's January. Everything is gray, brown, and sad. Then you look out your window and there's this shrub absolutely loaded with bright red berries like someone hung Christmas ornaments on it. That's Winterberry Holly, and it's a showstopper. Here's what makes October perfect for planting this one. Winterberry is deciduous, meaning it drops its leaves. When you plant in October, it's already preparing to go dormant, so transplant shock is minimal. The energy goes straight to root development instead of trying to maintain foliage. Now, quick important note. You need both a male and female plant for berries. The female is the one that puts on the show, but she needs a male nearby for pollination. Most nurseries sell them as pairs, and you're looking at about $25 to $40 per plant. Plant them in moist soil. They love water, so if you have that spot in your yard that stays a bit soggy, this is your solution. Come winter, those berries persist for months, feeding birds and giving your garden life when everything else is checked out. The bare branches covered in berries create this stunning winter sculpture that photographs like a dream. Shrub 4. Alright, number 4. This is the one I told you about in the beginning. Red Twig Dogwood, specifically Cornus sericea. And when I said it glows in winter, I meant that literally. The stems on this shrub are neon red. I'm talking fire engine, stop sign, can't miss it red. When you plant it in October and winter rolls around, these stems become the focal point of your entire landscape. Morning frost on red stems? Absolutely magical. Snow piled on them? It's like your garden hired a professional designer. October planting is ideal because red twig dogwood loves moisture, and fall typically brings more consistent rainfall. You're establishing it during optimal conditions. Plus, by planting now, you get to enjoy that stem color almost immediately once the leaves drop in a few weeks. Budget-wise, this is usually $20 to $35, and it grows in pretty much any soil as long as it has decent moisture. It tolerates wet sites beautifully, making it perfect for rain gardens or low spots. The growth rate is moderate to fast, and you can easily propagate it from cuttings if you want more. Here's a pro tip. The youngest stems have the brightest color, so every few years, cut the oldest stems down to the ground in late winter. This encourages new growth and keeps that color vibrant. But even without maintenance, this shrub delivers drama all winter long. It's honestly one of the best value plants for year-round interest. Shrub 5. Number 5 is for everyone who wants something a little more evergreen in the mix. We're talking about boxwood, specifically the Korean boxwood variety. Now, I know boxwood gets a bad rap for being boring or too formal, but hear me out. Korean boxwood is different. It's hardier, more compact, and it holds its color better through winter than English boxwood. That consistent green presence in your garden from October through March is what designers call structure. And it's what makes a landscape look intentional instead of accidental. Planting in October gives the roots time to establish before the ground freezes. This is crucial for evergreens because they continue to lose moisture through their leaves all winter. A well-established root system means the plant can actually access water even during cold months, preventing that winter burn you see on stressed evergreens. These run about $20 to $40 depending on size, but they last decades if you plant them right. Use them to edge beds, create low hedges or anchor corners. They're not picky about soil as long as it drains well. Water them consistently this fall, and by spring, they'll be settled in and ready to become the backbone of your garden design. The winter color is this rich green that literally makes everything around it look better. It's the garden equivalent of that friend who makes everyone in the group photo look good. Shrub 6. Number 6 is Hydrangea paniculata, and specifically we're talking about varieties like Limelight or Little Lime. Yes, these are technically known for their summer blooms, but October planting sets you up for something most people don't utilize. Dried flower heads that last all winter. When you plant Hydrangea paniculata in October, you're putting it in during dormancy. Less stress, better establishment. But here's the real magic. These hydrangeas bloom on new wood, meaning next summer's flowers are determined by next spring's growth. October planting gives the roots months to settle before that growth spurt happens, resulting in bigger, better blooms. And those blooms? Don't deadhead them. Let them fade and dry on the plant. By winter, you'll have these gorgeous cone-shaped dried flowers that catch snow and frost, turning into natural sculptures. They add height, texture, and movement to the winter garden. Cost is usually $25 to $45 for a good-sized plant. They prefer full sun to partial shade, and they're not fussy about soil. They're also more drought-tolerant than other hydrangea types once established. The payoff is huge. Stunning summer flowers, incredible fall color as the blooms fade to antique shades, and winter interest that keeps giving. Shrub 7. And finally, number 7. We're ending strong with Witch Hazel, specifically Hamamelis vernalis or Hamamelis mollis. This is the plant that makes people stop and ask, wait, what is that? And why is it blooming in February? Because yes, Witch Hazel blooms in the dead of winter. We're talking January and February, depending on your zone. The flowers are these spidery, fragrant blooms in yellows, oranges, and reds that literally appear on bare branches when nothing else is happening. October is perfect for planting because Witch Hazel appreciates a long establishment period. It's not a fast grower, but it's worth the patience. By planting now, you're investing in years of late winter blooms that will make your garden the talk of the neighborhood. These are a bit more of an investment, usually $35 to $60, but they're multi-seasonal performers. Fall color is spectacular with oranges and yellows. Winter brings those impossible blooms, and the branching structure is naturally beautiful, creating interest even when nothing's happening. Plant in partial shade with rich, well-drained soil. Water consistently the first season, and then this plant pretty much takes care of itself. It's deer-resistant, disease-resistant, and honestly just a class act all around. So there you have it, friends. 7 shrubs that you can get in the ground right now in October that will transform your garden structure and give you color and interest straight through winter. We're talking about smart planting that pays dividends for years to come, and none of it requires breaking the bank. Here's my challenge for you. Pick one. Just one of these shrubs and commit to planting it this October. Next winter, when you're looking out at your garden and seeing color, structure, and life while everyone else's yard looks like a blank canvas, you're going to be so glad you did. If you found this helpful, smash that like button, drop a comment telling me which shrub you're most excited about, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss our upcoming videos. We've got some seriously good content coming your way. Thanks for hanging out with me today on Earthly Gardening. Now get out there and get planting. Your garden's best season might just be winter.